Good to see you again. So this is Chaudoir calling from the Acupuncture office here in Glendale, right above Trader Joe's. As a matter of fact, there's a bunch of people shopping down there right now thinking about the very topic that I'm discussing today. They're right down there right now. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, let's talk about the metabolism. How does that sound, Amanda?
Sounds good.
Alright, now let's talk about that. So we're going to talk about how the digestive system functions, we're going to talk about what it does, and I'm going to give you a clearer picture of how it really works. There's a specific viewpoint in Western science and medicine that is accurate, but somewhat limited in its understanding of what really goes on when you take something, food, drink, whatever, put it in your mouth, and you send it into your body. And there's a series of events that occur that in Oriental medicine are much more understood, and it's a little subtler grasp of what's really going on, which is all that I'm interested in, and those of us here at the office are interested in, is what's really going on in the body as people consume food for the purpose of, for example, losing weight, or for the purpose of perhaps having your immune system functioning at a better level, or eating so that your body can do better and you're just healthier overall. Now, there's a lot of reasons that people eat, one of them being getting enough energy, and the other things I mentioned. So these are some useful tips. So I just wanted to talk about a theory, and that theory I'm going to draw for you is basically a discussion of what are known as the three burners of the metabolism. The Chinese term, this is your Chinese lesson for the day, is they would call this basically three, which the Chinese term would be san, and then it would be burner, and the appropriate Chinese term would be Jiao. So three burner theory, San Jiao theory. It's the only Chinese I'm going to throw at you today, so bear with me. Okay, so the basic discussion of this and understanding how the body works is you have these three centers of metabolism internally, and I can clarify that for you. So the first center is what would be called the upper burner, and this would be called the mist, if we use the proper translation from Chinese into English, and it would have to do with the esophagus, the lung, and the heart, and so on. So when you put food into your mouth, it goes through the esophagus and it travels through this particular region of the body, and certain things happen. Picture this, to give you an analogy, think of a car wash, and you pull your SUV or your smart car or whatever into the first part of the car wash, and there's soapy kind of suds that they put on and it soaks in. That would be the equivalent of the mist, so to speak, in this particular analogy. There's saliva that you have in your mouth that has certain chemicals, enzymes, etc., that would start to break food down, particularly carbohydrates. And then, of course, there's a breaking down process in your esophagus, and then it continues on into the stomach, which brings us to the next center of digestion, or burner, as it is called in Chinese medical theory, and this would be the middle burner. Okay, so you have the middle burner, and this is called the cauldron. So the cauldron is basically where the food goes to be processed, so to speak, and this would include the stomach, obviously, but also the spleen, which is underrated in my opinion, the pancreas, which is connected to the spleen, actually the two of them are a unit, the liver, and the gallbladder. So you have these different digestive organs that are involved in the middle burner function, or the cauldron function. So anyway, just to clarify a little bit. Now, in addition to this, there is this breaking down process. This is really what's looked at in Western science and medicine as the only process of metabolism in the body. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that from a clinical perspective of treating, 45 or 50,000 patients going back to the 1990s. I would say that it's a little more comprehensive. that there is this first stage that occurs, and then this is a major part of it, absolutely. But there is a next stage which is very important, and this would be called the lower burner. The lower burner, I'm sorry, this is not going to be very eloquent, would be considered the ditch. This would include, when I explain what's involved, you'll understand why. Large intestine, the small intestine, the urinary bladder, the kidney and adrenal system, you know, things of that nature. So you can kind of see what the lower burner is comprised of, and the food is traveling through this middle burner, and then it goes into the lower, and then it's processed in a certain way where the useful is kept in the body, and it gives you energy, and you get nutrients that travel from the inside of the intestine through the intestine wall into the bloodstream. And this is what, you know, gives you nutrients so that your hair can grow, so that your fingernails grow, your muscles are nourished, you know, the organs are, you know, the rest of the organs outside of the metabolism as well as those in the metabolism are given life and vitality by the nutrients that are moving around in the bloodstream. So it goes through, and then there's of course the unusable parts of the food that you consume, which then go into the, you know, other ditch, the not so good ditch, and this is where the stuff moves out of the body when you know, go to the bathroom. So anyway, it gives you a sequence. So just in review, to clarify, there is you eating food. It goes into your mouth. It goes through the process in the upper burner, and it's heavily, you know, worked on and processed and broken down in the middle burner, and then that material is sent into the lower burner. And this is where the good is kept by the body and the bad is moved out, if things are functioning. Now, if you understand and we're able to just wrap your mind around the basic concept here, which I'm trying to make as simple as possible, because it really is a simple concept, there's nothing complex about it, is that any one of these organs, if they were having problems, could cause you to have metabolic problems, which would lead to problems potentially with energy, your immune system, weight concerns, anything like that. So anyway, there you go, over and out. We'll talk more about the middle burner a little bit more in detail and talk about making fires the next time around. All right, over and out.